match here for the Florida Mayhem. No mercy pairing for Yaki right now. They're happy with Chris and Gangnam Jim on support, but the Titans, I mean, they use that Lucio to close the gap awfully quickly. And the Mayhem's composition doesn't look all that well built to deal with front-loaded damage like that. You get blown up awfully fast. Harmony Orb upwards and Kaka goes down. That's a good early pick-off here for BQB. Fate a little low right now. That might cause the Mayhem to slow down somewhat on this push, but Yaki's able to find KSA now with the sticky bombs after he got desuited. Still getting picked off like that in midair is quite huge. Dalton's able to double down here, and Vancouver Titans might have a way to turn this one around, but Dalton in the backside again. The pressure on Gangnam Jin from two different directions. He crumples, and Shockwave gets two on the end. He's going to walk to the back anyway and go for a match. So they do hit three with that EMP pretty comfortably. BQB down. Shredlock pretty much just has the standard hold mouse one for the most part here. The Vancouver Titans, they're in great shape right now. I mean, they look pretty comfortable on this composition. They lose a couple at the end of that fight, but they're still in control now. And Florida are getting... Shredlock gets the turn. Deal with Fate, of course, who was trying to cause some problems, but Shockwave was able to single out Yaki so easily, and now Shredlock continues to apply the pressure on towards Fate, and it looks like the Harmony Orb's not going to be enough to keep him alive. It isn't. Gangnam Jin run down by Shockwave. Two Winstons, no problem. The Vancouver Titans, again, exuding comfort when it comes to this change-up in composition, looking very good with this particular hero. Have to get through quite a choke to approach the point. Oh, the Immortality Field coming a little bit late for Rule. Couldn't keep Shredlock alive. Dalton, though, sheer force of will over this left-hand side is able to push forward and get rid of both BQB and Gangnam Jin. And Yaki is on the outside looking in right now. Gets a focusing beam sniped down on towards Shockwave, but there's no front line for him to work with now, and he'll just have to, not long after.
This fight's definitely one that the Titans can drag out.
Rolf drops onto the point now, and yeah, a bit of stall there for 44%. Vancouver probably happy with that. Oh, the flashbang! Nice shutdown. Dalton finds Yaki. Again, it's never clean right now for the Mayhem.
Yeah, Dalton goes back to get it.
A rip tire around the right-hand side, but it's spotted out. Nice job by Yaki. Just the sticky bombs to get rid of it, and there's a duplicate ready to go. Rabbinic Flux here from Gargoyle. Face to face right now with Shredlock, who gets finished off by Gangnam Jin, spread off from the rest of his team, and the Titans spend a little bit on that fight, but crucially maintain the duplicate and the suit. Keep his backliners alive, and the timing just hasn't been his friend so far. But the Titans flip the point back midway through the fight, and it'll be a more of a drawn-out cleanup period here. So they get some free percentage, and Shockwave comes flying over the top, and it doesn't seem to matter. And that's why Dalton got so very little with that, even though KSA used the Gravitic Flux to give him some potential targets. Again, Dalton gets caught out by Gargoyle. Not a matchup you want to be in if you're the McCree, that's for sure. Gravitic Flux comes out now. Shockwave tries to go for the Bob. Remember, the Titans are still in control here. They're happy with a longer fight. They don't mind losing if they can save ultimates, but oddly enough, they actually invest ultimates in trying to end the round here, Matt. Rolf goes for one, Shockwave as well, and touch on the point there. Maywall is now gone. KSA Gravitic Flux is going to be more defensive now. Hits both of the tanks, though. Fate dropped down alongside the Sigma. It's going to be an Immortality Field thrown in the mix here. This is good for the Titans. Even though no one dies to the Gravitic Flux, it's the displacement. It's also keeping the Mayhem club together. They lost the element of surprise because they're busy dangling in midair. And the Vancouver Titans take him out.
Oh, no. It doesn't look like they knew that Shockwave got there, but all right, he's finally able to deal with Gangnam Jin. Is it enough, though, to open things up? It looks like it might be.
Yeah, Chris attempted to resurrect there, but was cut down by Rolf. The Bob doing a lot of work, though. Shockwave can't do too much to prevent that damage. Inaki gets a free self-destruct here in a moment. Pretty handy. That's going to go up, and that duplicate there going to buy the Florida Mayhem some important time. Gargoyle, though, caught without his shield available. Kaka steps up, though, with half health, I think, and just gets nuked.
Yes. I mean, what? The EMP comes through.
I mean, yeah, they have to use Fate to try and touch here, and the Titans were ready for it. Dalton just hits a fat EMP as the Mayhem try and stall things out. Still, the point is contested. Shockwave's a little low now, and Hyperspheres bounce around the corner to catch him in the Resurrect on Fate. That's a huge tempo Resurrect here. For the Mayhem, they're back in the fight, and they're back in control.
And they use a nano boost onto Yaki.
High ground control for Gargoyles there, and Kaka got blown up. It's the damage boosted Ash, Matt. That really hurts. And now a nano boost as well. BQB, all of the resources being dedicated to him, and he gives a good account of himself, makes it worthwhile. Drops down now, and Rolf, got headshot briefly by him there. The damage is available for the Florida Mayhem here, and the Titans don't have the coverage to pressure BQB out. So many layers of protection. So they're not trying to speed under.
Look at the position the Titans already forced into, right? It's so bad.
I mean, Yaki wins a 1v1. Rolf is in deep trouble. I mean, he's gone. I mean, Yaki just opened that up on his own map.
But you can kind of see this happening with the way the compositions were shaking out already. Like, they were going to get forced off of this high ground. Just a lot of extra damage, even extra durability, right? With the Sigma being able to lead way with the kinetic grasp and extra shielding. You're just going to get walked down and pushed back off that ledge, which opens up that whole cross of the map. I mean, for the Florida
Matt,
Mayhem.
The whole point you have D.Va for KSA is so you can try and shut down Yaki flanking and killing your Ana. That didn't happen. KSA was not able to do anything about Yaki.
BQB's already. Look at the position they forced Shockwave into. Nice shot, though. So he's able to land a headshot onto BQB, but the front line, they're just going to lose the point, it seems like.
Yeah, once again, Shockwave bowled over by Yaki as he just comes in. Sticky Bomb is there, and of course the focusing blast isn't far behind it. They'll force Dalton away, who's extremely low as it is. Fade had to be used there by Rolf, and it's all defensive cooldowns that the Titans have to use right now. And this doesn't look much different from Numbani, Matt. Again, Florida play. Yeah, coming forward now with a bit of confidence. And here's a coalescence from the high ground for Rolf, and wow, the timing on that one looks so good.
Really
Just able to get rid of Chris and Gangnam Jin, deal with them pretty comfortably. And again, Fate, who wants to chase him back towards the upper bridge here. And yeah, chase down he's going to be. Now KSA has to really try and stall with very little health. Winston's back though. Shredlock returns to the fight. And that's going to give the Titans a chance.
Yeah, well, the issue for the Florida Mayhem is they didn't have any of their tanks in the mix. PQB will take out Karkar. Now they can come back stronger. Gargoyle over on the D.Va. Pushes all the way through the point. Now you got Fate back on the Orisa. Now they can start to make progress on the point.
One tick gain, but BQB goes down. Dalton's able to work him out of the equation. And Shockwave is playing a long way back here, and he's really concerned about the tanks. He knows if the Mayhem don't have these shields to work with, they're in trouble. And if he can stay hidden and be unpredictable, then it's going to be hard for Yaki to track him, just like there. Rolf now has the coalescence to the high ground. He wants to pressure down Chris, who has to use an immortality field off the point, which means that the Mayhem, when they get to the point, they're going to be waiting another 10 seconds before they get another drone.
Fate still on point here, just trying to contest it. You're going to see the Bob get used here by BQB. Gets into the corner. Gargoyle take out one. Gargoyle gets up to the high ground on the D.Va with the supercharger. Gets another. And it looks like Florida Mayhem should be able to take this. People on the spawn for the Titans. That'll be a point B take. It allows Yaki to try and make plays like this.
Yaki to the sky. Oh, he's able to break line of sight, but only briefly.
Oh, what?
Oh my god. That sticky bomb was insane. He does eventually go down. A lot of damage got done there. To Yaki.
Dude, if he would have killed him, that would have been one of the craziest plays.
Preventing the Mayhem from standing on the point with that coalescence, and here he comes into the backline now. Gangnam Jin getting pressured, and Dalton gets rid of him in the 1v1. However, Gargoyle, forced to hold on to his cooldowns because of being hacked previously, comes to the point and then just unloads them on Shredlock, and Dalton did his job. He did exactly what he was required to do in that fight, but unfortunately the rest of his team couldn't really succeed in his absence.
Ball first, yeah.
Yeah, but he's just going to make sure he knows where the supports are. That's pretty nice. He gets Gangnam in here, but he has to follow up on these kills. If he doesn't, it could be trouble. BQB goes down. Shredlock now into the backline and gets rid of both supports there. Even if they had the use of their abilities, it's unlikely that Chris and Gangnam could have prevented themselves from being knocked off the map. Especially now again, this time without that extra information, but he has the EMP and he lets it go. Sound barrier for the Titans now in case they needed any more durability, which they didn't, by the way, but they'll use it anyway. Shockwave is removed, but the fight engaged right now. The threat lies mostly with the front line of the Titans who push in. Fate has to switch to Wrecking Ball here.
I don't know if it's enough for the Titans. We'll see as they lose Dalton and Shockwave. Fate will come back on the Wrecking Ball. Now you're going to have Yaki duplicate the Winston. I don't think they did enough with all of those ultimates to be able to take it. And now you're in lessons to slap Bob and Gravitic Flux used by the Mayhem.
I mean, Wolf not healing his base tank. Oh, okay. Goes for an aggressive coalescence. KSA's able to find the self-destruct kill on Fate here, but Karkar's out of the picture, so once more the Titans can't do too much to close the gap here. And I like the aggressive coalescence, but you need a Shredlock to be your initiator there, and he was out of line of sight from Rolf. Unable to be kept alive, and the Florida Mayhem are going to be able to weather the storm here. The Vancouver Titans bring the cold from the north, but it's not enough to shake the foundations of the Mayhem. who stand tall and end up taking the victory here on Volskaya. To be aware of it, I think they maybe realize now, and well, it's too late.
Oh, it seemed...
Did the Mayhem just walk out of spawn without checking the train card? Has it been so long since Hanzo used Sonic Arrow to scout that?
Well, it seemed like they were, the way they were operating, the way they were moving, it seemed like they knew they were there, but clearly that is not the case. So
the Mayhem fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Now, though, they'll be able to take this high ground a bit more, and yeah, they're ready to fight here for actual train cart control, and this is where the Titans fall down. But I like what they're doing, right? They alleviate some of the problems they had on Volskaya, Matt, which was them getting trust being put in Chris and Gangnam to keep them alive, and it pays off. It pays off big. Gargoyle now has a gravitic flux, which he may opt to use on the high ground here just to hold all of the Titans tanks hostage.
They probably don't need it. I mean, they're up 2 players. They have the Winston basically dead right. Now you'll see Diva just kind of get worked down. You don't even really need the gravitic flux. You'll have a Transcendence yet again for the next fight. I mean, really good point A take here for the Florida Mayhem.
All right, Gargoyle pressured, but no early hack from Dalton.
No.
So no opening here. I mean, VQB finds Kaka. That was another halt, Matt, another setup. It's crazy that Fate is just setting up so many of these kills for VQB so far. Self-destruct gets rid of Immortality Field and Supercharger. Kind of clutch, if I'm honest. There's actually value there. The problem is, though, is that the Titans need to get rid of Florida players and getting rid of the Diva. Now Yaki gets a free self-destruct and you go back to Echo if he even gets desuited.
I mean, you use the EMP and you get rid of Gargoyle.
Has the potential to be the sort of dominant setup, but right now they're just they're in deep doo-doo, Matt. I'm not gonna lie. It's a doo-doo salad that they're swimming in.
I also think as well, like, this is a composition that the Titans are running right now. That'll be considerably better once we have no hero pools in the mix and we get to the postseason with the postseason patch.
Get some results at some point. They do have 5 matches in 2 weeks, so that's a lot of practice time for them. Treadlock held aloft and brought back down. It's going to be Gargoyle just be able to push comfortably this left-hand side. I mean, this off-angle Sigma gets to really just take the whole part of the map for himself now with that shield. And the Titans, yeah, they're playing without a shield, so they make it hard for themselves, and so much focus comes onto Dolphin setting up a fight just like that. Big EMP, Gargoyle needs to drop here. And the fact that he stays alive during EMP is crazy. Eventually, Shredlock commits a Primal to finish him off, but there's an Immortality Field on the point here for the Mayhem and VQB. He's safe as a house right now.
Yeah, and then Yaki turns into the Winston here, and Yaki's got a Primal Rage. He did get Gangnam Jin down, so... See, this should be a hold for the Titans. Yep, Titans should be able to get a defensive stand here, so... When we come back in the next fight, what do the Florida Mayhem actually have to work with? Really, probably
to get their forces back in position. You see Dalton getting picked off there with EMP, and the Mayhem now going to push up. It's going to be a Blizzard to try and open this for them, and then EMP is really needed now. BQB drops down. Frozen is Shredlock on the point, but Shockwave has a nice little angle here. It is a very high angle for him to try and shoot from, but safe nonetheless. And that EMP came in just at the right time.
Yeah, Ultimate's invested at the end there for the Titans.
Now he'll be able to peek once more, and Gargoyle goes for a Gravitic Flux. He realizes Wolf has to die in midair because he can just fade away once he touches the ground. The techers that we saw earlier on, he can apply once more. Getting rid of him is big, especially with Dalton out of the picture now. Shredlock has the Primal Rage to try and buy a little bit of time, but Yaki's more interested in this cheeky flank from Shockwave all the way around behind. But a freeze on Shredlock here to shut down the Primal Rage could be quite devastating. The Florida Mayhem need to get BQB into this action here. They need a cleaner fight. When they've got the May in the picture, they need to just team wipe the Titans before they can respawn back in. KSA is able to desuit there to allow him to get back, and that is a gigantic kill on Yaki.
Oh, massive. It looked like he was gonna, he blizzarded, tried to put the May wall up, stay alive on through it. They had Nat Matrix there. Do they even get a touch? They will not. So that's for the payload.
Well, it's going to be an interesting amplification matrix there, intended, I guess, to get damage inside Big Earls, but the Titans are so mobile, they can sidestep away from that one so easily. Rolf, aggressive coalescence once more from the backline there, wants to pressure the Mayhem. Despite going down a Zenyatta, earlier in the fight, the Mayhem are still able to stay alive, and that's because this is such a durable setup.
Yeah, with the May in play, right, Yaki just ice blocks on the point. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Dalton, does he just try and get rid of Gargoyle here, make him less effective? He gets interrupted as he went for the hack. Hyperspears immediately came in his direction. And yet Dalton just got ruined. BQB was able to turn his attention towards the location of the Sombra and remove them from the fight. Transcendence now just being used to keep Chris alive as Gangnam Jin keeps his team topped up. Rolf halted and he'll be removed on the payload now. And Florida, both of these teams, very different approaches to playing in this hero pool scenario this week. But Florida definitely have come up with at least a more elegant solution, Matthew. It's solid, it's consistent, and it puts them very much in the lead in the long fight and in the series. And that'll be Route 66 going to the